To have the hospitality here at our mosque here in Hallandale, it's just overwhelming, the joy and the celebration of our diversity, and more evenings like this and more outreach and interfaith. And I like to think Hallandale Beach is a bit unique, and we continue on this path to inclusion. And I think everybody needs to be included, and we have to have real dialogues about our differences, but also reach an understanding that we all have an innate spirituality for goodness, and then how we can emanate that outside of this community and encourage other communities to practice it. And Dr. Minhouse and the organization has been amazing and welcoming. I'm just honored to be here.
I think we're doing what needs to get done. We're educating each other about the beauty of the diversity of our faiths. We're coming together, we're finding the common ground. We're finding the things that connect us, that bind us, that hold us together as peoples. And that's what we need to do. We need to continue to stand up, to speak to extremists and say, you do not represent our faith. You do not represent our way of life. People of all faiths need to challenge extremists. We need to continue to educate, to nurture, to continue to respect each other and to offer understanding. And events like tonight, that's what this does. That's the power of this wonderful celebration.
Well, certainly it was unique in that you had a whole bunch of speakers. You had a lot of speakers, and I've never seen ministers all confining themselves to about 3 minutes. That's a modern day miracle. I mean, you do miracles here to bring up 15 ministers and have them all speak for an average of 3 minutes. Now I'm a believer. I believe in miracles, and miracles happen right here. But that wasn't the only miracle. The other thing that you do here repeatedly is that this particular Ahmadiyya Muslim community truly exemplifies the hospitality of Abraham. He was our common father. And if I want to know what was Abraham really like, if I come here, I get a pretty good idea of it. Extremely friendly, very warm, offering food to their guests, but much more importantly, offering a place where the community can come together and share their thoughts. My thoughts are a little bit challenging to some. Many people wouldn't want to hear it, but this community is really great. They hear different points of view, they bring people together, and especially they had the flexibility to alter the program somewhat to talk about this horrific tragedy in Orlando. Many people thought, gee, I was shocked, I was surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. When you have ISIS being able to spread its poisonous venom through the internet, and all types of people listening, and a society where anyone can get their hands on vicious, violent weapons, what do you think is going to happen? And this guy was under surveillance, and he's still allowed to get his hands on machine guns. This is a prescription for disaster, and ISIS needs to be eliminated. I believe that ISIS should have their own state. It should be the state of oblivion. And they should not be called ISIS, they should be called was. They should be destroyed. And until they are, we're going to have all types of problems. As long as ISIS and people are allowed to get hands on weapons, this type of thing is going to be repeated over and over and over. We need to fight back hard, and we need to promote the Ahmadiyya Muslim community who is trying to use religion to build bridges of understanding instead of walls of separation.
I think part of it comes from education. We have so many people who are afraid simply because we don't know one another. And so when we have an opportunity like your program currently, your campaign currently, that teaches about what true Muslim beliefs are, and how other groups have usurped those and co-opted them for hatred. I think even that beginning piece, and then also for Christians and Jewish people and all of the other faiths, to be able to say the hatred groups in our community are not who we are as people of faith. I think that's one piece. Certainly another piece is to be out in the public together, not just inside a building together, but also somehow to figure out a way to show the world that we stand united together. I don't know what that looks like, but I would love to be a part of figuring that out.
It was an amazing event tonight, a really very powerful show of unity in this community and the strength of our interfaith relations. I think that's critical. I think we should do more of it to empower moderates and people who can come together and dialogue like this. It's extremely important to come to a common understanding and to spread the teachings and our faith that we are all children of God and that we are all created in the divine image.
Well, I think one of the things is that definitely part of what we see in the world as a whole is a lot of sort of economic and social injustice that's happening, and that helps to perpetuate sort of terrorism and sort of a politics of hatred and sort of destruction. So I think we have to think about, how do we live on this planet together? How do we share resources equitably among people from the global south and global north? And also try to understand that Islam is a civilization. It's an ancient civilization, and it stretches across the globe. And that each of those different types of cultures, ideas, ways of being Muslim enhances sort of the plurality of Islam as a whole. So I think really the economic and political justice is going to go a long way into helping create social justice.
I think fundamentally a couple of the most important things in order to dispel ignorance is to educate people. And one means by which we're able to do that is by introducing people of different backgrounds so they can actually spend time with one another and get an opportunity to learn what each person stands for and their backgrounds and so on and so forth. So I think the education is integral, and the relationship building is integral as well. Because fundamentally, at least from my perspective, I believe most people share many common beliefs, values, peace, love, family, community. They just don't necessarily know one another. So this has been a fantastic opportunity to start that journey, so to speak.
Great. Thank you so much for coming this evening. This is Alan from the American Jewish Committee.
अमन के लिए सिर्फ इतना ही कर सकते हैं जी कि हमें एजुकेशन, लैक ऑफ एजुकेशन है और हम थोड़ा सा अपने मुद्दे से दूर जा रहे हैं। मेरे हिसाब से सबसे बेस्ट चीज़ ये होनी चाहिए कि यूनिटी, जैसे यहाँ सब यूनिटी हुई है, जैसे गुरुद्वारों में होती है, मस्जिद में होती है, सबको बुला के इकट्ठा किया जाए और उनको ये पढ़ाया जाए कि अगर आप कोई गलत काम करते हो तो ये सिर्फ आपको शोहरत नहीं मिलती। अगर सबको मिलने से जन्नत में हुर्रे मिल जाएं तो सब एक दूसरे को मारना ही शुरू कर देंगे, फिर किसी जीने की क्या बात है। तो ये उनको थोड़ा सा एजुकेट करना पड़ेगा कि ह्यूमैनिटी जो है या जो जन्नत में जाना है वो हमेशा नेक काम से और दूसरों की इज्जत से जाना चाहते हैं।